Well, good morning and welcome to Morning Gospel Fuel with Mr. G. It is Saturday, August 13th, the 19th week of Ordinary Time, and the feast day of Saint Irmã Dulce Pontes. She graduated from high school whenever she was 18, pretty similar to all of us. But then she asked her father to allow her to follow her religious calling, and he agreed. And she joined the congregation of the Missionary Sisters of the Immaculate Conception of the Mother of God. Pretty lengthy congregation, but it's in Our Lady of Carmel Convent, which is located in Brazil. So she is Brazilian. In fact, she is the first canonized Brazilian saint. But anyway, she received the religious habit, and she was given the name Dulce, which is in memory of her mother, who had died when she was just 6 years old. So that is Saint Irmã Dulce Pontes. Today's gospel is from Matthew chapter 9, verses 13 through 15. Let's begin in the name of the Father, Son, and Spirit. Amen. Then children were brought to him, that he might lay his hands on them and pray. The disciples rebuked them, but Jesus said, "Let the children come to me, and do not prevent them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." After he placed his hands on them, he went away. So we see, this section here is entitled "Blessing of the Children," which is directly after in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 19, right after marriage and divorce. So I think that's very telling in Matthew's writing, that like the purpose of marriage, of course, like the companionship is good and fruitful, and none of us are meant to be alone. But then it's to bear fruit, to produce children. That is what the marital act is for, of having sex. That it's a good thing. You got to be open and willing to produce children and have life. Because even people talk about Roe v. Wade and all this other stuff, which is horrendous, right? Of Satan. But we got to go even deeper than that, even further back than just abortion, because that's the effect. But contraception is actually probably more vital, I think, than Roe v. Wade, because contraception leads the human heart to fornication and lustfulness and just taking advantage of the other person for merely pleasure's sake. And then a child is produced, and then we didn't want the child, so some people have an abortion, But what does contraception mean? The prefix contra means against. Ception means life. To conceive a child means to bring life. So contraception means that you are against life. So the fact that anybody uses contraception should not be a surprise that they'd be willing and able and wanting to have an abortion. So our society really needs to change, and we can see that Jesus is really putting a heavy emphasis on the children. That's why the Catholic Church believes in infant baptism. Let the children come to me, and then he places his hands on them. But you can see the disciples went to Jesus confused, because Jesus has a mission to do, right? And they're his followers, so they think children are a distraction. And they think, get away, Jesus is on a mission. He needs to do his work. But Jesus calms them down, and he says, these children are a part of my work. So maybe the challenge should be next time, if you're in a public scene, or if you're at Mass, or if you're at church and a child gets upset or is throwing a fit, and you just really want the parents to bring the child outside, or blah, 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 whatever it is, however you react internally, maybe just think of these scripture verses from Matthew and be a little bit more patient, be a little bit more gentle, and be a little bit more understanding, because without children in the church would not grow. So have a great day. God bless. Keep it real. In the Father, Son, and Spirit. Amen.